But why wait until the weekend to have a little fun? Oh, no. Why don't we get the party started right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's not just Friday. It's, say it with me, audience, it's Friday! Yes. Cheers, ladies.
Oh, I'm excited. Wait, what are we having?
Okay, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Today's Friday drink is an absolute classic cocktail. It's a spicy, marvelous mule, which is a combination of ginger beer, lime juice, lime, and of course, vodka. To find out how you can make this cocktail or mocktail version at home, head on over to thereal.com. All right, you guys. What's going on?
Yo, this
Put
is
a lot in there.
No. Our staff must be feeling real Friday today because this is lit.
It is. It's lit.
Well, since it's lit, you ready to have a lit Friday girl chat?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, first up. It's fair to say that grandparents play a very vital role in their grandchildren's lives. They can be an endless source of love and support for them. However, for many families, it's not always that simple. Believe it or not, grandparent estrangement is a real thing nowadays, with many parents not allowing their parents to see their kids because of personal grudge or an issue between them. And if the situation remains unresolved, then the grandchildren are the ones who end up suffering by losing out on getting to know their grandparents. So ladies, do you think it's ever fair for the parents to stand in the way of their kids having a relationship with their grandparents?
Well,
Sometimes. Interesting.
it depends. I mean, well, if they're abusive or if
Yeah,
there's some
that's
substance
different.
abuse
Clearly,
issues
yeah.
or something like that.
For the
then
safety of the kid.
Right, but let's just, pull that out and just say maybe if there's some...
If it's not detrimental for the
differences.
child's well-being and safety,
Yeah.
obviously if your child's not safe with their grandparent, then they should not be there. But this is just my opinion. I really, really believe in honoring our parents. I believe in honoring... I understand that we may not agree with every decision that our parents make. You're never going to agree with everything they did when you were a child. You may not agree with everything they do now that you're an adult. But you still honor your parents. That's your mother, that's your father, and they deserve to have a relationship. Now, does that mean I'm leaving my kids with you, that I'm gonna give? No, I think there are boundaries that you can decide for yourself are good for you as a parent and for your child. But I think that's unfair. I think it's unfair, more importantly for the kid.
Yes, and I think, it
They
does.
miss
It does
out on
depend.
having grandparents.
I mean, like an example, like a grandparent and a parent may not always agree on your parenting style. They may say something, and then sometimes you get into your feelings.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I think everyone just needs to be an adult, master their feelings, get out of their feelings, and just, let the grandchild be with the grandparent. Because I know for me, I didn't know my dad's side of the family because they were estranged, and that hurt me. I know my mom's side, and I love that relationship that I have, and I feel like a grandparent and a grandchild relationship is very special, and I'm gonna not let my feelings get in the way of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an adult about
That
the
is so
situation.
mature.
Yeah.
So mature.
But what if the grandparent is doing something that the parent just, because sometimes there's stubbornness in the relationship.
True.
Say, for example, like if your child is with them and they have the feeling of, I know, I raised you this way, but maybe you don't want that to be done. So then what do you do in that case? What if, there are cases of even... I'm talking about little minor things. It might seem like it's minor, but it could be major to the child. Like their eating habits, or their eating styles, letting them be spoiled, letting them get away with certain things. What do you do?
You have an adult conversation, or you have an adult conversation. Like, you have to, sometimes you have to, it's true though, but sometimes you have to remind your parents that you are an adult now.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to say, like, Mom, Dad, come on now, respect my choices. And it has to go, like, back and forth. It has to be a nice dance between the two of you.
But what if they don't respect that? And then that's why I think some
you
people
put up
don't.
boundaries, like
I think
Adrienne
that's
was
when
saying.
you decide, I don't trust you to...
Or maybe spanking, discipline.
Then I don't see why we can't all just have time together, but my child will know their grandparent.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I also think there's sometimes there's just a right time and a right place and a right age, right? So my mom, she actually, the reason why she met my father and why she got pregnant with me is because she ran away from my grandfather. My grandfather was extremely abusive and harsh on my mom, and when she raised me, I heard some stories that made me never want to meet him ever in my life. So for my whole life, my mom pretty much ostracized us from my grandfather. And my brothers are boys, and so they were always like, what's up with grandfather? They missed a grandfather in the house. So they went to go visit him separately, but I never really kept in touch with him or visited him because of the things I pictured him doing to my mom. So just last Christmas, I'm 39 now, at Christmas, I don't know where these kids thought that it was a cute idea, but out of nowhere, you know, they called my grandfather to ask him what he was doing for Christmas. And of course he was alone because my whole family was like, you mean you're old, you know, you're gonna be on your own by yourself. So he was by himself. My brothers brought him, and when the door opened and my grandfather walked in, something, and I do believe it's the Holy Spirit in the room, just came over all of us because it was Christmas and because the look on his face, I knew that he knew he had done wrong. And there's no way he can erase that time, but for just to let time and our hearts let itself heal and work its way in individually through our relationships.
Right.
So we sat Grandpa down, we did some shots with him, and it was one of the best Christmases I'll ever have because of that.
And was your mom there? You should be really happy that you have a grandfather that's alive.
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
blessing.
And that you could do shots with.
Yes, he's living all right. True. I'm gonna post a picture of my grandfather. He is amazing.
How did your mom?
Yeah.
I'm interested to know, how did your mom handle that
I
conversation?
know.
Where was she?
Everybody was like, oh my gosh, I'm white, which means grandfather. And some people cried, and some people, the kids were a little scared because they've heard of him, like he's not supposed to be around us. But my mom, she sat real still. You know, she's the lioness of the house. And I looked at her and I was like, yo, she can get crazy real quick and kick him out, throw things. It's insane. But she looked at me and she said, it's okay.
Yep.
And we said, it's
She
okay.
gave her
Yes.
I have a
forgiveness.
question. Now looking back as your mom, does she regret missed time? Or do you regret missed time? That you
Girl, it was just a Christmas. You gotta go slow with Mama Mai. She's not there yet. I'm gonna wait till Valentine's Day to ask that. But I do wanna ask, Mom, like, that was your dad. He missed the birth of my brothers, me. He missed me growing up. My cute ass looking like this. Like, I don't know what he knows. So I'm gonna catch up now. Yeah.
Grandparents can sue for visitation if you're having some issues. Just understand that if you sue for visitation, it's not easy to get the rights. It's the cost of the lawsuits, also the cost of the attorney. So, but just what you just said, I'm only saying that because of what you just said.
Yeah.
You lose time, and time is valuable.
Yes.
So sometimes you do have to stand up for your rights. You have to
Yes.
fight, and maybe you have to, you know, work it out. So all the best to people out there.
Yes. Try to work it out. I love
Try
that
to
you
work
guys
it
did,
out.
though. That
That's
was beautiful.
so great.
Well, speaking of frustrated parents, one mother of two recently sparked a huge debate on the site Mumsnet after she revealed she turned down her partner's marriage proposal because it wasn't thoughtful enough. The woman, who went by the name Not Sunk In Yet, said she waited 2 years for her boyfriend to propose, but when the big moment came, all he did was write, "Will you marry me?" on a blackboard and left her ring on the kitchen table.
That sounds thoughtful to me.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay. Well, you guys.
Okay.
There's more. The woman claims that he messed up what was supposed to be the biggest moment of her life, and that his proposal lacked creativity, romance, and thought. However, other readers on the site said she was being ungrateful and had unrealistic expectations. So now, ladies, does she have the right to be upset? I see your face.
So
Adrian.
basically,
I'm
he
so
just
confused.
said this. He just did this and go, here, marry me.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yo, Adrian. Like, honestly, everybody who has a family or partner, what do you throw on the kitchen table? A Post-it note, maybe some keys,
You
a
guys,
banana.
maybe she describes it as being thrown on the kitchen table. I don't know about you guys. Y'all don't Pinterest? Because there are some really cute things I've seen on chalkboards where they write it beautifully.
It doesn't
you don't,
matter
maybe
about
she
the
was a
chalkboard.
school teacher.
The ring
It goes
should have
with the
been in
theme.
his hand, and his ass should have been on his knee.
I agree. Yeah,
It should
I
have been
agree.
on
The
his
ring should have
knee.
been. And wait, I read the article, and they actually have 2 kids. You don't just leave a diamond ring on a table for your
come
kid
on,
to
Mom.
come and like.
Okay, I didn't realize that it was just left there. If you wanted to surprise her and you write it on this beautiful blackboard.
She didn't say that though.
No, well, she obviously isn't gonna say it like that because she's feeling a little bitter Betty right now. But what I'm saying is, if it was on a beautiful black, you guys know what I'm talking about. Go on Pinterest and Google these
calligraphy.
things. It can really be beautiful and rustic.
I don't think he did that, boo.
And then if he left it there, and then once she saw it, maybe he stepped out and was like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're adding more to the story.
You just a hopeless romantic.
No, she's a romantic. This is fair. She's
romantic, but I will tell you if something is not romantic at all. This could be somewhat. You saying no? It could be.
I don't think so.
If he walked out and like she's surprised that, like, you know, there's so many people that have had like roses put all over the place,
Okay,
and then
don't
it's
add
just
to it.
sitting there by
You
itself.
got a blackboard and a kitchen table. Don't add to it.
That was it.
Just those two.
I do like the chalkboard idea, but he could have done it in such a
We not
more
in
thoughtful
school.
and creative
What are you doing?
way.
This ain't the prom.
You know how they have like the magnetic, alphabet letters or something?
So cute, I
they
love
have
that.
kids, but he should have incorporated the kids within the proposal.
Yeah.
Did a
they're free.
video.
He needed some
did
help.
something.
That's what it was.
He
He
did.
needed
It
help with
sounds
his
like he's just
proposal.
not as romantic as she wanted him to be. So that's why it's really important.
And she
to
already
actually
living with
educate.
him,
What?
so it didn't matter. I mean, she probably was like, I already got 2 kids. I'm already living with you. Don't
Maybe
care.
he felt
so
he didn't
forget
have to
it.
make the effort, which sucks.
but you
I will
still
say
do.
this.
You
I will
still
say
do.
this. Having been married before, it didn't last, but we ain't gonna judge on this show now, are we? I'm just saying that when it comes to the way you were proposed to, that story is a story that the woman tells for the rest of her life. All the good friends, all the family members at the 40th anniversary, the 50th anniversary, they ask, how did he propose? You don't want it to include a chalkboard and a kitchen table.
Okay,
I do
let
agree
me
with
explain.
I do agree with you to one point. I don't think she should have been ungrateful. Because the thing is obviously, when I read the article, she said she was looking, up to this moment. She was waiting for a really long time. So I would have been grateful that he at least
after 2
asked.
kids,
No,
I'm pretty sure.
this is my thing. I think this is where I might be spoiled. Oh, well, hey, blonde track. Okay, where I may have been spoiled because I'm sorry. I'm thinking in my mind, Israel, if Israel had a blackboard and a kitchen table, it's gonna be so bomb. You know what I mean? Like, there are ways that people can make these things where you're gonna bawl your eyes out. It's gonna be the most beautiful moment of your entire life with a damn blackboard and a kitchen table. Now, what I will say is this. I have been engaged before.
Yes.
You guys obviously know that I had been
Yes.
engaged before.
Yes.
I think what makes the biggest difference.
Her tracks falling out.
I know.
She can't speak.
I think it makes the biggest difference depending on the person. Now, I think we all know who we date, right? Shut up. Listen.
Okay.
If you date a man,
Finish your statement.
if
Go,
you
baby.
date a man, like, look
Yes.
at me, I'm gonna tell you this.
Okay.
Now, I knew the guy I was dating.
Yes.
This person went all out for everyone else, everything else. The person is very detail-oriented, always goes over the top. And if the
What did
day
he-
you were getting married, the person at 6 o'clock told your sister, can you find a restaurant that's open?
What?
And is like, oh, is there a restaurant? I want to ask her to marry me. Is there a restaurant? And doesn't put any planning, didn't look into the
Yeah.
place. The place held no significance to me whatsoever.
Oh, I see. So
I
you're bringing us
think
full circle
there's
to
a
see why the
big
blackboard meant a lot to you. I understand now. No, I get it.
It could mean something to someone. You get, like a blackboard could mean something to somebody. If the person is someone that is detail-oriented, plans things out beautifully every other time, and now for this engagement, it's just, just find me any restaurant that's open.
I just want you to know
That's not
He
thoughtful.
poo-pooed it away.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
I hope that when Israel watches this fine, amazing man who brought her to Paris with her parents and went through all that he did to propose to her, and he learned that he could have made you happy with a blackboard.
He could have.
I hope he doesn't get mad.
He could have.